everyone, welcome to another episode of Root to Roots. Today we have a special guest. Before we get into that, please check out part 1 that we did on her channel. We'll link it in the description or on the cards, whatever that is, whatever.
And in part 1 we were talking about cancellation culture versus call-out culture.
Yes.
Speaking, Tamika, please introduce yourself before we get into
guys,
the
it's your girl T,
conversation.
aka Tamika. Yeah. Okay, hi guys. Guys, my name is Nqobile Ndebele and I'm the presenter from Jozi. What's good?
Yes,
so guys, please check out all of the things. You know, we're covering some really amazing topics.
Yes,
and,
we are.
You know, controversial queen.
Speaking about cancellation culture, please don't cancel us for this conversation. Disclaimer. Can you please, can everybody please just listen to the conversation holistically before they start cancelling Bali and taking screenshots when she said this and then now, hey everybody, let's cancel Bali. But anyway, today we're going to be speaking about black tax.
Yeah.
So I've always felt like the conversation of black tax has been very black and white. It lacked a lot of nuance. It's either yes, I pay black tax, I don't like it, I don't have money, or I don't mind paying, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
And I do feel like this conversation needs to add a lot of nuance in the sense that what does it mean for our communities if we don't pay? If we don't pay black tax?
And you know what the thing is? I think the narrative around black tax is always positioned negatively. Let's start there.
Exactly.
It's already the moment you say black tax, negative.
Girl,
Negative.
when I was doing research for this topic, all I found online was like the burden,
the burden. And it's the same narrative every time.
and
So,
I don't think it's true.
I feel like we have a very subjective view of black tax. There's no objective view to say, okay, but black tax is also keeping an ecosystem alive.
Yes.
What does it mean?
And what does
without
it mean if we don't? You know, because I think a lot of people. So I do understand that black tax comes from the middle class, right? Who are black people, and the middle class doesn't always earn that much money, but it does go all the way up to like a reasonable amount of money, right? So we start at a very low amount of money and we go all the way up. And I find that people who don't want to pay the black tax are people who are on the heavier side of money.
Yeah.
You know, and I ask myself, so how exactly are we supposed to move out of this, all of this, financial, being disenfranchised,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If we don't
with,
give back, I don't understand, and I don't see why. To be honest, let me just say what I want to say, outright. Right? Let me just say it as I want to say.
We gave a disclaimer.
Very carefully.
We gave a disclaimer.
I think that the way that we position black tax is very capitalist. It's very white, and I think that is something that was designed even when apartheid was designed to keep black people in a cycle of poverty, because I think now the more that we get closer to proximity with whiteness and capitalism, the more we feel more like individuals and not a community. And this is why people are willing to say, I don't want to pay black tax. People who can are now stepping back and saying, I don't want to because I'm an individual, I don't owe anyone anything. But that is a very capitalist way of thinking.
And I feel like also it explicitly shows the cultural differences between blacks and whites.
Yes.
Because white people consider only their direct family to be their actual family.
Oh,
so
yes,
it's
that's
only
a dope
their
fact.
mom,
Yeah, we were
their
speaking
parents,
about
their
that.
siblings. Whereas with black people, we consider everyone.
The extended
their
family is part of the family.
The fact that in the
Everyone
black
is
community
related
there's
to
no
you.
such thing as extended family.
Yes.
We don't have a term for that.
And another
Yes.
thing, in the capitalist structure, it does the distinction where there is an immediate
There's
family,
the nuclear
and you should only care about
outside
that.
of the
And
nuclear
it's
family.
none of your business. But that is a very capitalist way of thinking,
exactly.
and it's not getting black people anywhere, because I do feel like there are people who can afford to help out. Guys, I have literally went to talks where I've heard people say, I let my parents live without electricity. And I have money.
But you know what the
And
thing is?
it's like, I say, are you serious?
It starts with the whole thing of what is black tax, because black tax is so many different things to so many different people.
True.
And so while there has been a level of black tax being certain people being exploited, because there is that thing of black people getting exploited by their family.
Yeah, and then the family holds them up at ransom.
At ransom.
Yeah, basically.
So there is that, but then there's also the thing of balancing the views and saying, you can't not support anyone and be narcissistic and then say, I'm avoiding black tax.
Yeah.
Because that's not how the world works. One day you will have kids and you'll have to support them. Are you going to say that's black tax?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And we go through there are so many factors that like work, because as much as we are part of this capitalist structure, the structure doesn't like us either way. So there are many times that it spits you out again, where you make it and then it spits you out. So what are you saying? That your family, because if you took the stance and said, I don't care to support my family, then we also should not care when it's your turn. You know what I'm saying? However, I'm not saying that I don't want us to erase the people who actually end up not getting anywhere because they're just helping everyone. Right? Because that's also another part.
That's another thing. Because I think now you get certain black people who know, this guy's made it and we're gonna ride off of that, and as a result, we're not gonna try. One person in the family made it. We can all kick it now. We can all kick it, and especially because they made it to the level that they made it. None of us, you hear those things of there's that one guy who made it, and as a result, he bought everybody houses. He bought everybody. But now nobody's trying to continue the wealth. People just sit there, and it's like you need constant revenue. You can't rely on a revenue source from one human being. How do we then? And this is the thing, like we can't continue
I definitely understand what you're saying. But also at the same time, a lot of black people try to live beyond their means. So for example, you'd rather get your house in the suburbs than help your mother pay off her house, for example.
And that's property that you guys will then have.
Exactly.
But I think that people just want to be, like, the capitalist system has made people very individualistic. So I don't want to live at home, Dase. I don't. And also, let's think about some of what our households look like.
And
like, you don't want to be home.
Like,
and how they structured. Why would you want to be there?
Because also, I don't want to be at home and be restricted. I can't be who I need to be at home. Fine. But I can still say, I'll get myself a house and I'll help mom. If right now I'm a student, I get a job. What can I do? I can help mom with groceries. It's something. That's not black tax. That's you contributing. That's you contributing. And so that's another thing, is people think that contribution is black tax.
And I don't think that we should look at that as a burden unless it is. Like, there are situations where it really is not a burden. Like, God forbid, there will never be a time where my children's children, where like my sister's children will not be able to pick up the phone and be like, Mbali, I need money for school fees. I know, like, my baby sister is my child. I don't think of that as a burden because I understand the importance of community within my black community. I understand the fact that we have been historically disadvantaged and there's no way that we can get out.
And the only people we have to rely on is each other.
It's each other. Like, I honestly feel like capitalism is really stripping us away from a lot of the things, and it's also stripping away from a lot of the things that we could gain as a community as well. Because we're sitting here complaining about everything aside from the other factors like tribalism, colorism, all these other factors that are splitting us up. Now we have this other factor that's saying, you know what, when it comes to money, don't count on me. When money is something we don't even have.
And even goes, I mean, you're talking about tribalism, and I'm like, it's also a Western construct.
Thank you. Definitely.
Totally a
Everything
Western construct.
It also breeds into stuff like xenophobia again. Because honestly, xenophobia is tribalism heightened. And it breeds, it creates even more, like, now, that's why this conversation about money matters, because a lot of people move from their homes or their countries of origin because of money. Because of money to send back where? Home.
But at the same time, this conversation about black tax, like, how do we actually get to a point where we don't need to do black tax? Like, not necessarily as a moral thing, but like financially.
We need to be economically enfranchised. That's the first thing.
But what you were saying about the spending, would see people spend beyond their means. Because there are people who actually can afford to take care of their family, but they choose to go live it up in a club.
Exactly.
Or live for Insta. Or live it up in the burbs, or do all these other things. We all know those uncles who just, they're not involved and they would rather just go.
You see it more with men, because like I said earlier, men need money to prove their masculinity.
So you see when they don't.
When they don't. And you know that Ekaya, like, especially with black girls, we're very conditioned to take care of your home.
Yeah.
We're very
community.
At home, if you don't take care, like any paycheck I've ever gotten, the first thing I thought of is my mom.
Same. That's the first thing I don't feel burdened.
I don't feel burdened.
Personally, I don't feel burdened. And maybe that's a privilege. Maybe it's a privilege to not feel burdened. Maybe it is a privilege, and I have to acknowledge that.
So that's another thing, because also to what extent are we giving, right? How burdened must you feel when you get 100% of your paycheck, right? And 80% has to go home, and you don't get 100% of it.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing. That's another reality. People make their money and don't even get to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Because it's that thing of, hey, you're getting that call. You know, there's not this, there's not that. And your family now sees you as an ATM. They don't see you as a person anymore.
And there's that.
Yeah. Because then they know Uber went to job and they've got money now. Just because I'm getting paid, it doesn't mean I have money. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that I can take care of everyone the way you guys want me to.
I think that if we do pay our tax, it needs to be in a way that we're building the community again. So like you said, if there is a Makaya, this man is there, instead of just sending money there all the time.
Yeah, I think it's important to
because
recognize
another thing, bringing back to that point, you're talking about black people living beyond their means. Black people live vicariously through other people beyond their means as well. Think about our mama that now have a point to prove. Suppose in Joburg and he's working blah blah. I want you to renovate the kitchen now. I want you to renovate the house now.
Their status as well. Their status as well.
Now. Yeah. Now you have money. You saw what our neighbors next door got a new TV or a new fridge.
And then they compete.
You better now they can with your money.
That's also a
now they're living beyond their means with your money.
That's it's not even their money.
It's not even their money.
Not even their money. It's
your money.
Yeah.
So now I must be catering to a whole agenda that you have. We need to be that family that looks amazing because Ubanban made it.
Yeah.
So now how do we also balance that?
Because that also is
that's a very big thing in the black community. And black people do that all the time. You have money now. I want a car. And I don't just want, I'll get you a Taz. No, I don't want a Taz. I want a BMW. What? You have a job. Do it. I must be driving the Taz now so you can drive the BMW. What do you mean? At the end of the day, I'm the one putting in the work. And because there are some family members that don't understand how hard you work, they keep demanding. Yeah. They don't understand
I don't think that it should be demanded. Like, I think at that point, that's where people maybe start to feel burdened. That's why they use that word, because it's like, why are you demanding this from me? I've never felt that way in my life. Everything that I do because I understand that like I'm the only person that can do this, and I have to do it. And I've been lucky, I guess, to get into a family where my gran knows. My gran, even when I give her money, she's so sad all the time. Like, I can't believe you have to do this. But like, someone has to do it.
And that's what I'm saying. This thing of black tax, it's a deeper economic disenfranchisement.
It really is.
And it's that deeper thing, because if we already had money, this wouldn't be an issue.
It wouldn't. But now that it is, what are we gonna do, guys? What are we gonna do? And this is where I say, like, the conversation needs to be nuanced. Like, we cannot always, people are not always victims. They're not always victims. It's very multi-layered, and sometimes they paint it out to be everybody's a victim of this thing. Like, no.
Yeah, I think it's just important to recognize that investing in your family
when you can
future success, possible future success for both you and your family.
That's if you care about your family.
Dude. It's hitting you now. You're like, oh shit. Cocktails made by yours. Your parties. What's up?
Let's wrap up. Let's wrap up.
I feel nice, sure.
No, I don't. I feel good. Okay, guys, listen. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Before we get too drunk and say some fucked
we wanna wrap up this video very quickly. Thank you, Tamika, for having us.
Thank you, guys.
Please don't forget to watch the conversation part 1 on
that we had on her channel. We'll link it in the description box. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.
To Jozi What's Good and to Roots.
Yes.
And see you in our next...
Let's get to 200 episodes.